To your attention this video that I just watched. It's done by a journalist named Freddie Sayers. I've never heard of the guy, but I just watched his video and I was very impressed. He was unbiased, he was calm, he explained the issue very matter-of-factly, very well presented, and then he did some interviews with relevant people. He did a psychologist, and he did some people who were unvaccinated, and then he spoke to a lawyer about whether this was ethical and whatnot. It's about 25 minutes long, but you'll learn a lot. It's about Austria's decision to lock down those who chose not to get vaccinated, which in Austria happens to be 1/3 of the people. It's quite a lot. And he talks about how they can get away with it. He says a couple times he doesn't believe that they could do this in the UK, for example. And I agree with him. So he's wondering what it is about Austria that allows them to get away with this. And then at the end, he points out that it's a little bit of theater in that as they're preparing for Christmas and they had a little market open, you had to present your vaccination and your ID to get in, and the minute everyone gets in, they take off their masks. So it's a little bit of theater, or even a lot of theater, mixed in with a little hypocrisy and a little unfairness, and you get to see the one country that decided to go with a lockdown for the unvaccinated. They're allowed to go out to work, but then must immediately come home and stay there. I want to point out that Mia brought up something that I had been thinking in the last few days as well, and it's that why are we to be forced to accept what science, and I put that in quotation, says? These are the same people who gave us the opioid crisis. These are the same people, if you go look on Pfizer's website or do some research, you can find it elsewhere, have been sued tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of times. These are not pure people. They are also the same people we complain about for these things, for paying off politicians through lobbyists, and I hope I'm not in trouble by saying it's akin to a bribe. These are the same people who are getting their policies passed through this manner. These are the same people who are profit-driven and not at all altruistic. So these are not good people. I'm not saying all scientists are bad. I'm just saying as a whole, the industry of big pharma has a bad reputation. Why are we ceding all power, all this direction to them? Because I don't think we should be. Seems very unfair to me, and I don't know where they got this power over the politicians to say this is the way it's going to go, and if you don't like it, you're going to be locked into your room. I think this is very unfair, and on a larger point, I think it speaks to what may happen later on. They also bring up the point, although he does it very delicately, that this is akin to what happened with Austria and the Second World War, where they, and you have to read between the lines, you have to know your history because no one's going to say it out loud, where they took a certain segment of the population and gently pushed them to the side. And you know what I'm speaking about, a certain race of the people. So there's a lot of issues that is covered here. It's very well presented, and it's going to take you to be mature in your thinking to understand what they're presenting, and then they leave it up to you to decide whether you agree with it or not. They start out by interviewing about 10, 15 random people walking by, and you see that there is no empathy, I guess I would say, towards other people. This seems to be where we're headed, and it's already, you can see it in this society where you have people on the right, and those are people who watch Fox and that type of thing, and then people on the left who are watching MSNBC, CNN, and that type of sort. There's two camps, and the two camps don't like each other, and they have no time or sympathy for the other side. That seems to be where we are. It's very sad, and I, for one, don't like where we're headed. It's not good, and there can be no good outcome as far as I can see. But there you go. So I'll put a link in there. You can watch it yourself and decide for yourself as well. Bye-bye.